How does the government use technology to run the country? Government services are often slow and bureaucratic, making them less accessible to millions of people. Nonpartisan group Code for America wants to help. Code for America uses the principles and practices of the digital age to improve how government can better serve the American public. Emily Chang sat down with Code for America's founder and executive director Jennifer Pahlka at the Oct.23 conference to discuss. Take a listen.
We continue to work with states and counties and cities, and now we're doing things like we've been showing how much easier it is to, for instance, apply for food stamps. Was an hour-long process, always got messed up. Now it's really simple and across almost the entire state of California, which is really wonderful. But we're taking it a step further. If you're going to apply for food stamps, you might also need Medicaid. Why are you filling out two forms? It's the same information. So we're showing in 5 different states around the country how you can integrate that and make it so much easier by doing more than one service at a time.
Now, you spend some time in D.C., but really you're going to like Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Give us an example of some of the work you're doing in particular states.
Yeah, so in Baton Rouge, we're working with the state of Louisiana. Medicaid enrollment is a real challenge there, and we're helping them take these user-centered, iterative, and data-driven practices into the application of their technology to administer Medicaid.
Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos made the point at the Oct.23 summit that government programs are actually, many of them, quite well funded, in the billions of dollars, and yet to many citizens they seem inefficient and ineffective.
Yeah.
Is the problem with resources? Is the problem with how the resources are deployed? Is there a problem with the kinds of people who are employed delivering these resources and delivering these programs?
The problem is that we have neglected the machinery of government, and that's been a choice that all of us have made. We wanted government to be very risk averse, we want it to be very accountable, and we haven't taken all of that talent and these new approaches that you see in great companies and applied them in government. And I don't really think that's the fault of the public servants. I think that's the fault of the American people. So if we help create this situation, we can absolutely help change it. And that's really what we're trying to have everybody understand. Neglecting the machinery of government is a choice. Let's all make a different choice. Let's put the best talent and these approaches that really work, that start with users and iterate, let's put them in government, and then we'll have a government we're really excited about, and that's so important.
You were in the room when President Trump had that first meeting with tech leaders, and at the time there was a lot of concern about how the White House would bridge the gap between Washington and Silicon Valley and could perhaps hold back the march of technology. Have you seen that?
What I have seen is that groups like the United States Digital Service, still operating in the White House, still run by some of the best people that Silicon Valley claims that any private sector or public sector sort of rock star would claim. They're still doing great work, and that's just so important for everyone to understand.
So you're not concerned about the progress of technology under the Trump administration?
What I'm excited about is that you have great people there doing work that we all support, and I'm very glad that they're still there and still making government work better in ways that really do match my values.
Google recently dropped a big contract with the Department of Defense, and employees at Microsoft and Amazon have protested their companies bid for big government contracts. I mean, how should tech companies handle these situations? Should they be working with the U.S. government?
It depends on the situation, obviously. I think it's great that Silicon Valley companies and other companies are thinking more and more about their relationship with government and where they can use their power to express their values and the values of their employees. I want them to do that. I also want them to spend some time in government so that when they make these decisions, they can really see it through the eyes of the people who are working in public service. So many of them, the vast majority of them, really are doing public service because they want to help the public, and I want to support them too. And I really want public servants to understand Silicon Valley. I also really want Silicon Valley to understand government and public service.
Do you think there's too much moral exceptionalism and arrogance among people in Silicon Valley that they think they can do it better than everybody else?
I think that Silicon Valley has still a long path to go down of really understanding how government works and becoming part of it. We just did this, panel here at Wired and finished with the line, "Government is us." Let's remember that. Let's remember that and really get involved.